Today we worked on Turbo Steve's turbo bike, the XN85D. It's a 1983. We wanted to show how to put the stickers on in exactly the factory location. And on this bike, it's critical since he's restoring it to a factory look. He wants it to be exactly like the factory it left the factory. The paint, the match on the paint turned out great after we put the clear on. And we had one of those amazing days where everything went so well and the weather played in our favor. We actually got a ride on the R1 at the end of the day. And of course, that's a great way to end any day. Today we're going to try to work on Turbo Steve's XN85D, the turbo bike. He's coming over in a little while. I wanted to get prepped up here, get ready, because if we're done with the clear and it's drying, I'll be able to get out and get a short ride. It is a really, really great day for painting. The kind of day we always wait for shooting clear, and I don't want to waste it. And I really do want to get a ride too, so it may turn out to be the best of all worlds. Let's hope. So what we have to do, we're going to wait till Turbo Steve gets here. He's got to put the decals, he's got the real Suzuki decals to put on a tank, and maybe we'll even get some clear shot on some of the parts so we can see how this color is going to match to the original side cover that he has. Now it's very funny that it matches under certain lighting conditions, and under other lighting conditions this color looks darker, but in the sun it looks like a pretty good match. So like with all paint matching, boy, is this ever a challenge. Anyway, we just got to wait till Steve gets here. So this is the clear we've been using. Turbo Steve bought this gallon and we've done a few other jobs out of it already. Always, most important thing is the fast hardener for our uses under our shop conditions. We got the sample part to match up. When we put the clear on this part, it should be a much better match. The difference was this part, when it already has the clear on, has much bigger sparkles, or much more sparkly sparkles. But I think once the clear goes on, I won't know until I get a couple of coats of clear on the parts. And basically what we want to do is use the fender as our test part. I want to try to do that even before Steve gets here, so we can look at that color match. And we got the mirrors ready, but of course we're still waiting for our reverse thread piece to come from China. Shame on China. And Steve's got the decals, and these are collector decals. They're really impossible to find. But I know he's got alternatives, and I know he's got a spare set just in case these need to be done over. But he's an expert at putting these stickers on. So I'm mixing the paint 4-to-1, keeping a tip in a jar of acetone, putting the blue tape on top to seal it so we don't have any drips or leaks. And this Gavin's clear has been just as good as the 5-star or any of the other ones we've used. Now the idea is to get 3 coats on, and I'm spraying this like an airbrush, very thin, back and forth, not being careful not to blow on one wet coat. And the weather is just spectacular today. Even the breeze is reasonable. So I got the second coat of clear on. I opened up the spray nozzle a little bit. This coat went on just a little bit wetter, and we're starting to see the real color now come through. Of course, there's always that little sparkles, and now you can see it's just really starting to be the color that ultimately it's going to be. We're going to get one more coat of clear on, and just as I was doing it, Steve showed up with the decals and a template for putting the decals on, and he's going to demonstrate how to make an efficient template so that these go on in exactly the factory location. Now, to some people, if you're doing a custom bike, you know, it doesn't even matter where you put the decal or if you put them on at all. But when you're looking to replicate, now what Steve's ultimate goal is to replicate the bike he already has. So in essence, he can make this an evil twin and put this tank on that bike, that tank on this bike, switch the seat, switch the side covers. And so he did a lot of legwork getting this paint from Colorite. It was a custom-made thing from Colorite, and I'm sure it wasn't cheap, that's for sure. But anyway, I'm really excited to see that color. That color looks spectacular in the sun.
90.
The sun, now that you have clear on there, it's a lot closer because the sparkles are more sparkly.
You can see how it's really sparkles.
That was what I was. No, they looks really close now.
Yeah.
Oh man. Now you know what happens with this color? As soon as you move the sun, it changes the color. Like it looks real dark when it's in the shadows.
Yeah.
But where the sun is, so I don't know you're ever going to see the whole bike the same color, like when it's a, you know, like a red bike or a black bike. It's the same in the whole plate.
Yeah.
This is changing.
It only touches one place here by the tank, right here.
Okay.
So it should be good.
And Pete won't say anything. Pete the judge, the custom car judge. Yeah, that looks nice. That's a beautiful color. And Karen loves that color. She said I should buy another MT-09 so I can paint it that color.
It was the only bike that used this color. It came up this color for the turbo.
It's beautiful. Yeah, that's a. I don't know why they didn't use that on you know.
Because they're trying to make the turbo something special.
Yeah, yeah, so they could charge more money.
Exactly.
And luckily you have the money. So after going back and forth and debating this out, I think it was time to start working on that tank. This was our test piece, and if the color didn't match, we didn't want to go any further, but I think it's as good as it's going to be. So Steve has these unobtainium decals that Stefan in Romania found for him in a in a garbage can. Anyway, let's see the decals. And they're dark blue.
Yeah, it looks like
all right,
black,
cool. Now you want to lay out some tape first?
Yes.
Just to get your.
Yes, I do.
Yes, I do. You're the expert. This is. You should have got Mark Morgan to come over here.
Oh, I'm the expert.
No, you're not. Mark is. Mark screwed up more decals than I ever did. Okay, so you made a little template. That's a great idea. We could use that on the question and answer video. How do you line up?
I think I need the template though. If I could find my.
Well, listen, you're highly skilled. You're like Vlad when he comes over with his decals. Oh my God, the whole day is shot. You got to go brew another pot of coffee. By the way, I always like to give credit to people like Mark Morgan. He put on 1,000 decals on those old bikes I did for him, and you had to get them a little higher, a little lower, left to the left, to the left. This is a good idea what Steve did. He probably measured off, well, he's got the same bike. So he measured the bike that he already has. This is really like an evil twin. He's got two that are evil twin, identical twins. It's a new evil twin, identical twin. And I have to confess, putting decals on bikes is not my favorite thing. We'll get them on. And it's a beautiful day. I can't wait to get this done so I can ride. Now, they make a lot of reproduction decals, of course, but these look like the real ones with a real Suzuki part number. Wow. You mean I just can't call Partzilla and get some of these? Not happening. I got my own decals supplied here. So he's got his template. It's nice looking at a craftsman at work.
Oh, no. I think I made the mistake.
So the original measurement you made was wrong, so you'll make the adjustment, that's all.
Yeah.
This is a beautiful tank. This will look good on my RD if you put this bike in a ditch and you want to sell a tank.
I put 2.5, it's 1.5.
Okay, so you just made a, you know the correction, and you know it goes up high on a tank.
Oh, it goes up very high.
Okay. You got any pictures on your phone of what it looks like?
I couldn't
Oh,
tell.
That would have been a good thing to
picture.
do before you came here.
No.
Now you got to reference how far it's back and get a line from the front.
Right here.
All right. Who needs Mark Morgan? Hey, Mark, we don't need you. You go back to work. You can't take a day off today. This is always a good idea, though, especially when you have a real something, or even if you have somebody else's bike to measure off. Okay, so now you have your whole reference.
Now I got some of these.
Now we got to double check before we do surgery. We get it right on the money. My God, Luciano would be so impressed. Yeah, I know. And I hate Bondo, too. Every time I do something with Bondo, I think I'm going to get away with it.
But they cover the whole car.
I know.
That's how they get that super duper.
You know?
Oh, this might be easier than I thought. I shouldn't say that until I'm done.
We're going to see what he says when his job is done.
Easier than I thought.
Oh, God. Be careful, baby. Unobtainable decals. Enzo Suzuki doesn't want those on crooked.
Look at
Start
that.
in the middle and work like a sun. You know what I'm saying? Don't start at the top and be in the middle.
Here
and
and
then
go this way?
Yeah, yeah. Because if you get a bubble now, you got it. Oh my God, everybody's going to be so... That really looks good. I can see why they made it dark blue. That looks good against that color. Pretty cool. Oh, they're on upside down. Hey, that looks good. Congratulations. Who needs Mark Morgan? Mark, you're fired. We learned many years ago that you're trying to get the air bubbles out. Start in the middle and work out like a sun. Don't ever go to the top to the bottom or the bottom to the top.
What's happened is, as you know, this is supposed to come off, but the blue is supposed to stay. Let's see if that works.
Well, we have a trick for that if that happens. It's called new decals.
Oh no, these might be
Yeah, they're 40 years
the
old.
only ones left
They're 40 years old.
in the country. Well, no, actually, he's got a couple of sets. The guy who gave me.
Okay. Well, maybe you get him to give you another set. Tell him you know Mark Morgan. That usually works for me.
I don't have any more 40-year-old tires.
I got some more D tires out there. Let's see if he wants to trade decals for tires. Now, because Steve's a pure professional guitar player, he has some nice fingernails. You can get that under there. You got it? You don't want to see my fingernails doing this.
Getting pretty close.
All right. See, when decals really get old, they stick to the clear, and then they come up, they don't stay down there, so that's what we're working.
These are only 40 years old.
Only 40, holy mackerel.
What were you doing 40 years ago?
Exactly 40 years, too. You got historic plates? Oh, you don't have the bike assembled yet.
I have a story. Oh, on this bike, no.
Well, you only need one plate. You got two bikes the same.
I might use this on my bike and put the other in. If I decide to build another bike, I have, like they say, I got 95% of the parts. Yeah, those other 5%.
Yeah.
Go find them.
Yeah. Well, this fuel tank might be a lot in better shape than the one you got on there. Less paint fade and everything.
Actually, they did a pretty.
But this really can be annoying when that sticks to the clear. And usually you wouldn't have that if these decals were a year old. Well, what I like too is when you buy RD gaskets and they're rock hard. Just to put another little good tip on video is always go from the middle. A Q-tip is good because it's cleaner than the grease in your hands. For getting this, now he's just pulling up the green tape. I think we got it. I'll give you full credit. You sure this is a Kawasaki? Here's another thing where it's pulled up here. If you just
SUZUKI now.
always work from the middle. You got that one down, okay. I think you got it. We'll do the other side. We'll put some clear on this puppy. Now take the whole,
Here.
Steve.
I'll take a picture of that number.
Yeah.
Anybody out there? We need more of these.
Ah!
Look up that Suzuki number.
They're coming from Romania tomorrow. Okay, so here's the thing I want to show. Get the edges down with the Q-tip, Steve. Your hands are cleaner than mine. I've been working all morning, so get the edges so that the clear doesn't go
Right.
down underneath. And take your time doing it. You don't have to have this done in 10 minutes. That's a real, because once the clear gets under that, it curls up. You know what I mean? Okay, so we just got to do the other side, and then we'll be ready for put some clear on. Boy, you couldn't get a better day than today. So the first side came out great, and usually the second side goes a little easier or quicker or better or whatever. And we are going to be ready to put some clear on this. I'm ready. I want to see that tank shine. And before we do the other side, I tack ragged this whole thing down before he got here. But just to get, we don't want to have a little piece of dust or something underneath the decal if we can avoid it. Boy, it's funny how the second side always goes quicker, huh? Yeah, that's going to be good. We get some clear on this. Yeah, that's going to be good. Take the Q-tip and rub. You got a little bubble right there. You candle it. Look at the light. Yeah, try to get them out. Otherwise, the clear is not going to lay down right. And if you, at the last thing, if you can't get it out that way, just take a pin and just put a pinhole in it. Because the clear will, yeah, you still got it there.
Yeah.
Or the tip of a razor or something, just to let the air out. See, every bubble is going to be the clear. You're going to have to put enough clear to sand it down at the end. So I just want to see how this is drying up. Oh, that is a sparkly color in the sun. I don't know if you see it on the video, but that color really is beautiful. Wow. Now, because this was just a really, really exceptionally good day, the clear went on. I just couldn't be any better, I don't think. And this is the hard part, getting the bottom when you don't have a helper. And I try to do this with one hand, it just gets a little difficult. But, and then always to find a way to get it up in the air that you can get it nice, solidly mounted. This way you can get around the edges. And of course, I'm doing this, the first coat really fine, like with an airbrush. The second coat, with the gun opened up a little bit more, so the coat is a little bit wetter. But at the end, we wound up, I think, getting the right amount of paint on this. And for anybody that needs to know this kind of information, there's 2 gun loads of paint on the fender and this. We mixed 2 batches. So that's usually, 8 ounces, I guess, close to it anyway. And that's about the right amount. Now, I didn't want to put more than that on because we didn't really know if this color was going to match at the very end. And I was really, this was one of the things, I was looking at it from every possible angle. And it's bright sun. This is the brightest sun. Now, any color with a lot of pearl and metallic and all these little fancy things they put in modern paint, it just looks, when the sun hits that from different angles, you can see things reflecting in it. I'm sure when a bike is all assembled, it's just going to be spectacular because that bike has a lot more clear on it than it would a standard Suzuki bike made in 1983. A man and his turbos. That guy in Pennsylvania is going to be all jealous of you. You're going to have better paint than him.
Oh, I doubt it.
He may have more turbos, but you got better paint.
See his bikes. Oh my goodness! Like
that does look good.
They look better than when they rolled off the showroom floor.
Absolutely.
Here, take a picture of me holding it like this. I want to send it to the guy who mixed the paint. Over here.
Okay, one second. One second. Are you gonna try to get your money back? Is that the deal?
No. I'm gonna compliment him. He spent a lot of time. I mean, it's 99%. You know.
Let's get some pictures. Now, I edit on a big screen TV, a big monitor, I meant to say, and the color looks pretty good. But when you look at this on my telephone, if I look at these YouTube videos on a telephone, I'm not so sure it's the same. But anyway, I think Steve was happy, and in the end, that's what really matters. You always have the choice of painting the side covers, especially if she's got the decal cutting machine.
Oh yeah, these are easy.
If Ann's going to cut your decals, there you go.
I think this is a brand new.
So can't you keep this and get some used ones?
I've got about 6 of them.
Ah, we'll take the rattiest ones, of course. Of course, and do that sloppy body work on it, and then I'll straighten it out, and we'll have it perfect. Steve, that's as good as it gets. Even Stefan in Romania is jealous of your paintwork. Actually, the truth is, Stefan in Romania sent Steve a nice comment on my video to how much he liked the turbo bikes, and we went back and forth with a couple of funny kind of emails. But I think I'm getting ready to go riding. I don't know what you're doing, Steve. And we finished up the project in time to get a nice little ride, and the weather is spectacular. Guys are out in their hot rod cars already. And this was the day isn't over yet. It's not even lunchtime yet, but we're going to head out to the great unknown, and knowing that paint is drying, and hopefully an eagle won't come by and pick up your fender and throw it into the Hudson River when he finds out it's not a fish. Time to ride. Oh, that's some really nice carbon fiber work there, baby. Those are not Yamaha parts. Those are Windy parts. Time to ride. With all the paintwork done today and sitting drying, the open road right ahead of us, the roads are nice and clean today, and it just looks like it's going to be a spectacular day. Just great. Oh, the trees are in full bloom here. All the flowering trees up in this area. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Now this is the last R1 manufactured that had no traction control. It's got other things going for it, but it does not have traction control. And one of my goals for maybe the upcoming winter is to get a quick shifter for this bike. I've enjoyed the MT-09 quick shifter so much. I miss it on this bike, but you know, it's tough. You just have to learn to live with it. And this was one of the days I think I overdressed from the last couple of days when it was cold. Today it just warmed up as the day went on. When we were painting, it was beautiful. And it got downright warm in the afternoon. Very, very pleasant. And this is what these back roads are like. And you can see there's just bumps and gravel, and it just makes for a challenging ride, a really challenging ride. And of course, some people don't enjoy it at all. And some people really love it. It's hard to figure. I love it. I really enjoy these back roads a lot. Now, when I did the wheels on the R1, it took quite a long time to do them, and I had put new tires on the rims when I did it. And this is going through its first set of tires here now. We're going to be getting ready to put that Pirelli Angel on there that I got from Vlad pretty soon. Now I've had a lot of different tires on this bike, and I'm looking forward to testing that Pirelli Angel. Vlad has got those on some of his collector bikes, and he said they're really grippy, they're nice, and they're great street tires. They last. We're going to find out. Now, in the course of this ride, I had stopped as I do to take a picture. I heard a two-stroke coming down the road, and he went by about 100 miles an hour. It was a red and pink H1. It's hard. It's really hard not to like this R1. Now, I was watching YouTube the other night, and they said the latest big block Chevy, the one that's in the Vets and the C8, is a cross plane. Can you imagine? This is the first cross plane I ever know of in '09. Now, I'm not a real car guy, but I'm just curious about that. I wonder if the new Vets really are cross-plane. That's a cross-plane V8, which of course is like gluing two of these together. I don't know. It's just interesting. I don't know what, in a car, what the benefit would be. I'm really not sure. And I don't even know if it's true, but it's interesting. I know that crossplane was a Yamaha. I don't know if they were the first ones that ever did it. I'm really curious about the vets, though, and the big block. I bet John Pathia knows. I have to really find out for the next question and answer. And I'm sorry now I didn't chase down that guy on the H1. I could have maybe gotten some pictures for Luciano. That it was the one that's red with that pink stripe on the tank, like Luciano has two of. And I think it's not going to be long, and all the guys are going to be coming out of hibernation, and we're going to be having our get-togethers. And this really was the first day for really an enjoyable ride of not freezing. I think we have over 30,000 miles on this guy now. He's 13 years old, and boy, he has been, except the only thing I've ever replaced on it of any consequence is the starter motor. And that was really difficult to do. And this was the kind of day I wish I had the ability, I really don't, to stay out all day until dark. That I was just having a time of my life here. The first really nice temperature day of the year. And no matter where I park the bike, I just love looking at those wheels. The wheels changed the whole look of this bike. And it did the same thing to the MT-09. And I've actually seen R1s with chrome wheels. I like these silver. I like them better than if they were chrome. And of course today, just like every other day, that Valentine radar detector gave me a couple of warnings. There's some new places they were hiding today that I had never seen. The Valentine called them out. By the way, if you go to YouTube and type in the word cross-plane, there's great videos, really professional videos, that explain how a cross-plane works and what the advantages and disadvantages are. Very, very interesting videos. And I think the coolest thing of all is the sound of the crossplane, no matter which exhaust system I've had on, loud, quiet, stock, or the one I made. The sound of the crossplane is a unique thing, and it sounds great while you're riding the bike. And it's time to turn around, make that boring ride down Route 80, and start thinking about having lunch on a porch with the family. And we're almost at the end of the kids' project, and probably be within a few days they're going to be moving back in, and life's going to return to normal on the Ponderosa. Where are you guys sitting out on a porch now? It's beautiful. What? Not a cloud in the sky. All right.
We need our umbrella.
You need our umbrella. Okay, it's umbrella day. What a day. So Karen wants the umbrella. Steve wants his parts. Boy, they dried up nice. They dried up beautifully. This just could not have been a better day. This was really a spectacular day. You don't get a lot of these, but when you get one, you definitely got to appreciate it. So this day was really, really nice. Not a cloud in the sky, I can't believe it. They're eating their lunch out on a porch. I gotta have my lunch now. What a day. We got the turbo thing cooking along. He's got, Ann's making up some vinyl stickers. Well, it's gonna be fun. But that job, when it's done, I think he's gonna have two evil twins. Evil twins. We gotta make a name up for them, the Turbo Twins. Anyway, it was a good day, and I hope you enjoyed sharing a ride with us. So I've had this guy 13 years, over 30,000 miles. He has been part of my life for a good chunk of my life so far. He has been a good companion in every way. And I think everybody, no matter what your interest in motorcycling is, everybody likes something different, but the R1 fills a special little niche in my life. And having that crossplane, having the first one that was commercially available, the first year, I don't know where that's going to wind up. If people tell me maybe the Corvettes are not a crossplane, I don't know. But there's so many good videos on YouTube about crossplanes and how they work and why they're cool and whatever. But it doesn't matter at all. You get on the bike, you hit the starter button, and you're having a great time. And on a day like today, you feel like you died and went to heaven. It really was a very, very special day. Hope you enjoyed sharing it with us. And we post something every day. Thanks for watching.